Hello dear students, welcome back to physics online class. So hope all of you know how to write the dimensional formula for that physical quantities in the form of MLT by taking use of these terms. So I said that. So in classical mechanics there are three fundamental physical quantities. So what are those? Mass, length and time. So hope you know how to write the dimensional formula by taking use of M, L and T here. So now let me introduce one more term. If there is exist any kind of the temperature term in any physical quantities, how to write the dimensional formulas for that term temperature here. So temperature we are going to be expressed in terms of degree Celsius or Kelvin. So in order to write the dimensional formula for the temperature term, we will use the term K here, means Kelvin we can consider here. So let me give an example related to those physical quantities. So I can write the dimensional formula for that coefficient of linear expansion. So what is that physical quantity? Coefficient of linear expansion. So these term you will understand in that first PU, a second track. So that coefficient of linear expansion alpha is equal to delta of L. So it means change in length divided by original length into rise in temperature. So in order to write the dimensional formula, so delta L means length, so I can take that L here, and again in denominator also length term is there, and here delta T means temperature. If there exists any temperature term means, so just you can write it as a K here. In terms of Kelvin I can take, so alpha is equal to, these two term will getting cancelled out. So there is no mass term, there is no length term, there is no time term here. So M0, L0, T0. So in denominator K is there. I will take it into the numerator here. So K to the power of -1. So this is the way to write the dimensional formula if there exists any temperature term. For example, so I can write the dimensional formula for heat here. So what is the dimensional formula for heat? Heat is nothing but it is a form of energy. So heat is equal to what? Energy. What do you mean by energy then? Energy is nothing but capacity to do work here. So capacity to do work. So look at here. In order to write the dimensional formula for heat and for energy and for work, and these three physical quantity will carry same dimensional formula, is it? So heat is nothing but it is a form of energy. Energy is nothing but capacity to do work. For these three physical quantity will carry same dimensional formula. Work is nothing but what? So work is equal to force into displacement. So force is nothing but what? M1 L1 T to the power of -2, displacement means L to the power of 1, is it? So dimensional formula for work done, so that is M1 L1 T to the power means M1 L2, sorry, bases are same, powers are added, T to the power of -2. So this is the dimensional formula for heat I can take, or energy I can take, or I can consider that as a work here. So these physical quantity will carry same dimensional formula. Now let me write that dimensional formula for another physical quantity. So that is latent heat. So what's that physical quantity? Latent heat here. So don't get fear about these physical quantities, you will learn in future classes. So if I said that statement, or if I given one equation, just you can understand how to write the dimensional formula for those physical quantities. So latent heat is nothing but it is the ratio of heat by mass here. What's the dimensional formula here? So dimensional means what is the formula for latent heat? Latent heat is nothing but it is equal to heat by mass here. So heat by mass means I know the dimensional formula for heat. So just now I got, so M1 L to the power of 2 T to the power of -2. In denominator one more mass term is there. So M to the power of 1, if it goes to numerator, so M to the power of -1, so mass term will get 0, L to the power of 2, T to the power of -2. So this is dimensional formula for latent heat. So now let me write dimensional formula for one more physical quantity. Next I will skip for next content related to dimensional formula. So next we will write dimensional formula for specific heat capacity. So we'll write that dimensional formula for specific heat capacity. So specific heat capacity, so I will write that formula. S is equal to Q or H, you can consider, divided by M, so into delta of T. What is the dimensional formula for specific heat here? So it is heat divided by mass into temperature. In other sense, I can take like this. So dimensional formula for heat, so that is M1. Heat is nothing but it is a form of energy. M1 L square T to the power of minus 2. Mass term I can take it as M to the power of 1. Temperature term is there, so just I can take it as a K here. So look at here, mass term will getting cancel out, so M to the power of 0 here, L square T to the power of minus 2, K if it goes to numerator, so K to the power of minus 1. So this is the way to write the dimensional formula if there exists any temperature term. So in second PU, so we will understand about that electromagnetic theory. So in case of electromagnetic theory, so you can use that one more term, so that is current here. So now I don't bother about that electromagnetic theory, so just will look after for that only first PU chapter. So related to first PU chapter, so maximum times you can use these terms only, M, L, T and K here, mass, length, time and temperature in terms of Kelvin. By taking use of these fundamental physical quantities, we can write the dimensional formula for all derived physical quantities. Okay, now one question will get arise here. So what's the use of writing the dimensional formula here? So mass is repeated by 1 time, length is repeated by 2 times, so temperature is repeated by 1 time. What's that exact use of those fundamental physical quantities? So I said that, so how many times the fundamental physical quantities are repeated in the given quantity, I can understand, right? Then is it only one use from writing the dimensional formula? No, so it has multiple uses from the dimensional formula. So let me enter into that applications of dimensional formulas. So in today's session we will discuss applications of dimensional formula. So it has lot of applications. Among those we will discuss what are the 3 major applications of dimensional formulas. So let me start our topic with applications of dimensional formula. Dimensional formula. So we can understand what is that. First use means, in my view, I can take this is first one. So by taking use of those dimensional formula, we can able to understand whether that equation is dimensionally correct or not. For example, in case of that motionless straight line, so we derived that kinematic equation. So S is equal to ut plus half at square, v square minus u square equal to 2as, or v is equal to u plus a into t, or distance traveled by the object in nth second. So like that, so in physics we are deriving some physical quantities. So let me understand whether those physical quantities are dimensionally correct or not. I can able to verify it here. How to verify that correctness of the equation? In order to understand that correctness of the equation, I can understand by that dimensional formulas. So remember here, so by taking use of dimensional formula, we can verify that correctness of the given equation. What is the first use? To check the correctness of the equation. So from the dimensional formula we can check that correctness of the equation, whether the given equation is dimensionally correct or not. I need to verify here. So in order to verify that, I need to write the dimensional formula. So for example, so hope you know about that centripetal force and equation for that centripetal force. So F is equal to mv square by r. So I will give an example. So equation for centripetal force. Centripetal force is. So I will give one equation here. So don't bother how these equations are derived. So we can derive by the dimensional formula also. So for time being, so believe me, so this is correct equation, mv square by r. So this is the required equation for that centripetal force, where F represents force, m represents mass, where v represents velocity, r represents radius in terms of length only. Now I can verify that whether this equation is dimensionally correct or not. So how to verify that? So in order to verify the correctness of the equation, so if that LHS terms are equivalent to RHS term, first I can write the dimensional formula for left hand side term and I can write the dimensional formula for right hand side term. If that left hand side dimensional formulas are equal to that of right hand side dimensional formulas, then I can say that this equation is dimensionally correct. So did you get my point? So I can write that dimensional formula for left hand side physical quantity. So for left hand side, for LHS, so in left hand side which term is there? Force is there. For LHS, so which quantity is there? Force. So directly I will write the dimensional formula force. m1 means force is nothing but what? So mass into acceleration here. So m1 L1 t to the power of minus 2. Is it right? Dimensional formula for force. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. Acceleration is nothing but what? Velocity by time taken here. So m1 L1 t to the power of minus 2. So this is for LHS. So for right hand side, RHS. Now I can write the dimensional formula for right hand side physical quantities. So what are the terms means? Right hand side terms I can say. So dimensional formula for mass is m and velocity. So velocity square is there. So just I will take velocity means L1 t to the power of minus 1. So what is the dimensional formula for velocity? L1 t to the power of minus 1. So here square is there. So just I can write it as a square here. Divided by. So radius means it is also in terms of length only. Allow me to simplify this equation. So m1 as it is I can write. Okay. So this one is L square here. This one is t to the power of minus 2. And in denominator L to the power of 1 term is there. I can take that. So mv square by r. So m1 L to the power of 2 here. Sorry, L to the power of 2 and t to the power of minus 2. In denominator one L term is there. I will take it into numerator. So that is L to the power of minus 1. So finally m1 bases are same, powers are added. So L to the power of 2 into L to the power of minus 1. So what are the means bases? Bases are L here, powers are. So 2 minus of 1. So that is 1. So another term is time. So this is the dimensional formula for right hand side terms here. So left hand side term dimensional formulas are m1 L1 t to the power of minus 2. Right hand side m1 L1 t to the power of minus 2. Here LHS it is equal to RHS. So then the given equation is dimensionally correct here. So this equation is dimensionally correct, we can say. So listen here, we are discussing about that applications of dimensional formulas. So first application, so to check the correctness of the equation we will use the dimensional formulas. So how will you use the dimensional formulas? If they given any equation, so first you write the dimensional formula for left hand side term. So I written that for left hand side this is the dimensional formula. Okay, now I can write that dimensional formula for right hand side terms. So what are the right hand side terms? mv square r, mv square r. So finally if I simplify, I got the dimensional formula as m1 L1 t to the power of minus 2. So this is the dimensional formula for right hand side term. This is the dimensional formula for left hand side. Both are same. So LHS is equal to RHS. Then the given equation is dimensionally correct here. So now I can write then this equation is dimensionally correct. Dimensionally correct. So this is the way to check the correctness of the given equation. So let me give another examples. So I can take that another example for verifying that correctness of the equation. So S is equal to ut plus half of a into t square. So in bridge course classes, we derived that equation by graphical method. Okay, so I will take use of that equation here. So listen here. I will give you one equation. S is equal to ut plus half of a into t square. Now your duty is to verify whether this equation is dimensionally correct or not. So first what I have to do, I have to write the dimensional formula for left side physical quantity, means for LHS, for LHS, left hand side term here. So left hand side distance term is there. So there is no mass term is 0, distance means L term is 1, time term is not there. So for right hand side, so these are our right hand side terms. First I will take that u into t. So for u into t I will write the dimensional formula. So u means velocity, so L1 t to the power of minus 1. So here into time is there, so t to the power of 1. Bases are same, powers are added, minus 1 plus 1, so it will cancel. So L to the power of 1 only, so mass term is 0, L to the power of 1, t to the power of 0. So I can take that another term here. So remember one thing, so dimensional formula is not applicable for numbers. So for numbers you cannot able to write the dimensional formulas. I said that dimensionless quantities means, so these are all the dimensionless physical quantities. So for those physical quantities we cannot able to write the dimensional formulas. So I can take only a into t square. So there are certain limitations of dimensional formulas are there. In future class we will discuss about that limitations. So just we look at what are the applications, then you can look after for the limitations. So a into t square, where a represents that acceleration. So what is the dimensional formula for acceleration? L1 t to the power of minus 2. T square is there, t to the power of 2 here. Look at here, bases are same, powers are added, t to the power of minus 2 into t to the power of plus 2, so that cancel out. So there is no mass term here, so m to the power of 0, L1, so t to the power of 0. Look at here, left side m0 L1 t0, in right side m0 L1 t0, m0 L1 t0. So in this case also left hand side it is equal to right hand side. This equation is dimensionally correct, we can say. So I will give one more example. Hope I am not making you bored here. So just I will give one more example, and if you wish I will give some assignment work even. I am happy for that. Some of you solve, so all those physical quantity you send that PDF also. You are too much interested to learn about the things, so that is what science require. Okay. So we'll write the dimensional formula for escape velocity. Hope you heard that name. So I don't want to explain those meanings. So just I can verify whether this equation is dimensionally right or not. Where V represents that velocity. Okay. G represents that acceleration due to gravity. R represents that radius. So that is in terms of length I can take. So for LHS, left hand side I can write the dimensional formula. So velocity means what? There is no mass term, so m term is 0, L1 t to the power of minus 1. For right hand side, so I said, so dimensional formula is not applicable for the numbers here, dimensional less constants. So these are all dimensional less constant here. For right hand side, square root of 2gr. So for numbers you are unable to write the dimensional formula, or you can take it as square root of g into r, or directly I will take square root of g into r here. So g to the power of 1 by 2. So square root means 1 by 2 and r to the power of 1 by 2. So both are same. So square root is there. What's the dimensional formula for acceleration due to gravity? Acceleration and acceleration due to gravity will carry the same dimensional formula. L1 t to the power of minus 2 whole to the power of 1 by 2. R means also distance whole to the power of 1 by 2 here. So L to the power of 1 by 2 t to the power of minus 2 into 1 by 2. So 2 term will getting cancelled. T to the power of minus 1 and L to the power of 1 by 2. So hope you are understanding here. So minus 2 into 1 by 2. So that is minus 1. So I written the same thing. Okay. Square root of G into R. So for these terms I am writing the dimensional formula. So L to the power of 1 by 2. L to the power of 1 by 2. Bases are same. L to the power of 1 by 2 into L to the power of 1 by 2. Powers are added here. So this one also 2. So that is L to the power of 1 here. So L to the power of 1 by 2 into L to the power of 1 by 2. What it gives here? So it gives that L to the power of 1 here. So it gives that L to the power of 1. So it is t to the power of minus 1. So what's that left hand side? M0 L1 t to the power of minus 1. So mass term is not there here also. M0 L1 t to the power of minus 1. So this is the way to cross check, or this is the way to verify that whether the given equation is dimensionally correct or not. So hope you understand this session. So we'll continue with that another applications related to dimensional formulas.